with Dan Sherman, who is the product planning manager for the 2017 Kia Sportage fourth generation of the vehicle. So Dan, I need to ask you, when we say something is all new, what do we mean, new?
When we say all new, what we're talking about is everything from the sheet metal all the way to the inside, all the way to the structure, to the bones of the car. So in that case, we're talking about our ISO structure. So we introduced ISO structure on the Sedona and the Sorento and the Optima, and now we've got it here on the Sportage as well.
ISO structure, what does that mean?
ISO structure is our general terminology for a really, really stiff structure. And what that means is that we've upped our game in terms of our advanced high-strength steel usage, in terms of our usage of industrial adhesive as well. So we're actually 51% advanced high-strength steel now on this car in the body in white.
And so what does that mean for someone who's going to get this car?
For someone
this is like, woo, we got steel, great.
So it means a whole bunch of things. I mean, the bones of the car really make a difference in terms of the way that it drives, the way that it crashes, and the way that it sounds or really doesn't sound. So NVH is very key as well.
So the development of this vehicle had to be important for a couple of reasons. One is that ever since Kia has been in the US, there has been a Sportage. That's number one. Number two, compact crossover vehicle, hot segment. So what did you guys do from an engineering point of view that you think will make this even more competitive than the product it replaces?
I think that the three big areas that we spent a lot of time on were the ride quality, which is helped by that ISO structure, and also a totally retuned suspension with fully isolated front and rear subframes. The NVH, which, as we talked about, the noises really come down a lot. It's a very isolated ride. And a lot of the competitors in this class are using variants of the C-segment platforms, which, this has a lot of Optima in it, and therefore it's a lot more refined. And then the third point is the interior.
Optima being your larger sedan.
Optima being our mid-size sedan,
right.
We got it, as opposed to their Forte-size sedans. And then lastly, we've got the interior, where we went with a lot of soft-touch plastics. It's a beautiful, simple, clean design with great ergonomics.
Right. So this car was styled in Europe primarily?
Primarily, although all three design houses did have a hand in it.
So that would be?
That would be in the US, in Europe, and in Korea.
So is there something about the European styling that you guys wanted to capture with this vehicle to separate it from the other competitors?
Of course we did. Yeah, I mean, so many of our competitors are really styled all in the same direction. And we wanted to go a totally different direction because we're Kia. We have to be a little different. We have to take some risks. And we wanted to take some of that European flavor and impart it here.
Right. And let's talk a little bit about the interior. I mean, have you upped your game there in terms of the fit and finish of the materials, the soft materials versus the harder materials?
Absolutely. The whole dashboard is now soft touch on the top. The tops of the door panels in the front are soft touch, as well as the side cards, as well as the armrests. They're soft touch materials pretty much everywhere.
Right.
Even if you just feel when you initially get in the leather that's on the steering wheel, it's grades better than the previous vehicle.
Okay. So let's talk about what's under the hood.
Sure. So the 2-liter turbo in this particular car, in the SX Turbo, very strong, 240 horsepower. And very few of our competitors actually offer something with that amount of horsepower in this class.
And the standard offering is?
Standard offering is a 2.4-liter, 181 horsepower engine, also stronger than most of our competitors' base engines.
And these engines have been retuned, recalibrated.
Yeah, think of it as a facelift. They've been recalibrated for this. There's better fuel economy. We added technologies like electronic CVVT, and we went to a dual belt setup. And what we've essentially been chasing is better fuel economy and better drivability on a day-to-day basis.
So drivability, explain what you mean by that.
Drivability is your ability to just get into the car and go, and intuitively, everything about the throttle, everything about the way that the car drives makes sense, that it's easy to drive.
Okay.
But that means a lot of smoothness is very important.
All right, so we can't end this without talking a little bit about the technology that you guys bring. You guys are going to offer Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but you also have other safety technologies in this car. Tell us some of the...
That's true. We went big with the adaptive driving systems, the driver assist systems. So we've introduced blind spot detection, and unlike most of our competitors, we've got lane change assist, which actually can see up to 230 feet behind the vehicle to see oncoming, approaching traffic that's driving too fast into the lane next to you. We've got rear cross traffic alert. We've got forward collision warning along with automated emergency braking, which can bring the vehicle to a full stop. We've got front and rear park assist as well. Just a litany of technology.
And so, and you can also open the hatch without using your hands.
That's one of the coolest parts, and that's something that's very unique to Kia.
Yeah.
Is that there's no waving of the foot. There is no hand, necessary. You can be holding something. All you have to do is stand behind the hatch for 3 seconds, and poof, magic sesame.
And then
it
you
opens.
get in and drive it.
You got it.
Dan, I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you very much,
Great.
Gary.
So appreciate it very much.
Appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.